Alright, if you are a current renter, you're probably curious, should I be renting or should I buy a house? Did you know that the average rent in Denver has risen to over $1,400 a month just for a one bedroom apartment? But on the other side, interest rates have also doubled over the past year. So what's better, renting or buying? Well, like many things in homeownership and many things in life in general, it really depends on you and your personal situation. It's really not cut and dry. It's not black and white. It's not that you really absolutely should buy a home or you absolutely should rent. It really does depend. And that's coming from somebody in the real estate business. So of course I'm not quite objective over this, but I do recognize that there are benefits of renting and there are benefits of buying. So let's dive in and evaluate buying versus renting. My name is Josh Spector with the Spector Group here in Denver, Colorado. My focus is to help and assist first-time homebuyers through the home buying process, not only by getting them educated, but also guiding them from their contract to their closing and also all of the financing. If you'd like to learn more, click the subscribe button below, and if you want more consistent content updates, follow our Instagram and TikTok pages at Spector Group. Owning a home is considered to be a very strong and savvy financial move, but why is that? Why do people spend so much time saving up for a down payment when they can just rent for the rest of their lives? Like, why is home ownership a part of the American dream? The first reason, and one of the most important reasons that I tell all of my home buyers about, is you will lock yourself into a fixed mortgage payment. That payment is going to stay the same month after month, year after year. Now this is really nice, not only just for budgeting purposes, but for times like right now when inflation is through the roof and rents are going to start raising through the roof. The day that you close on your home will be the day that you lock in your payment. It can only go down. You're probably wondering, how does a mortgage payment go down? The day you close on your home, you're going to lock yourself into an interest rate and a payment. Let's say that interest rate is at 6%, but 6 months later, you see that interest rates have dropped to 5 or 4.5%. You're going to want to take advantage of that lower interest rate and thus drop your monthly mortgage payment. The next reason that people buy a home is to build equity. And for those who don't know, equity is simply the balance on your home loan and the value of your home. The spread between those is what we call equity. So listen, if you were to buy a home priced at $500,000 with 5% down, then you'd be putting down $25,000 in total. At that moment, you'd have $25,000 in equity. As you can see in the graph, over time, your home's value will grow at an average of 6% year over year, though we used a 5% appreciation rate in this example. And in time, you'll begin to pay down your loan balance. This is how you create equity. If you fast forward 5 years in the graph to 2027, you'll see the purple line shows your loan balance is down to about $430,000 and the home value is up to $670,000. That means that in 5 years, you built $240,000 in equity. This is one of the main reasons that people invest in real estate. It is to build equity. And now, through the example that I just showed you, how you can make $240,000 in just 5 years, that is the reason why it's so powerful. There are many, many reasons that people choose home ownership, like tax credits and designing your home to your liking, for getting a backyard for your dog, and just so many more. The final one that I'd like to mention is the sense of pride when you walk into your home for the first time after you purchased it, and just the sense of accomplishment that you feel when you work so hard to obtain that home and you finally attain it. So now that we've taken a look at home buying and what the benefits are of that, let's take a look at renting as well. In my eyes, the main benefit of renting is the level of commitment. You're likely only locked into a 12-month lease, which allows you a ton of flexibility. You can bounce around, you can move around the city, you can move out of the city, whatever you want. So if you're bouncing between jobs, if you're trying to find a long-term company and kind of working your way up the ladder, then renting might be a good idea for you so that you could move to a new city if a better job takes you there. Another benefit would be the maintenance to upkeep a house. When you rent, you are not responsible for that maintenance. You're not responsible for a furnace that goes out or a water heater that goes out. Some of these big ticket items that can cost you a good amount of money. You also don't have the time investment to call up these contractors or do the work yourself. So renting is a much more hands-off option. Finally, your upfront costs are very minimal. It's likely just a security deposit and first month's rent, whereas with buying a home, you're going to have to lay out a down payment plus closing costs. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned how buying versus renting largely depends on your lifestyle and your financial situation. If you're somebody who plans on moving, back to your hometown with your family where they are, and you're not going to be in the place long term, or you'd like to have the flexibility to move out of the place you're in, then I would certainly recommend renting because you're only going to be locked in for 12-month leases. If you only plan to own the home for a year, then it probably does not make sense to buy a home. However, if you see yourself in Denver or whatever city that you're in for the long term, for the next maybe 5 to 7 years, then buying does make sense. It could make sense for you lifestyle wise. If the other factors kind of fall into place, you want a yard for your dog and you want a big kitchen, more bedrooms for your growing family, then buying could make sense for you. And if you feel that you're unsure whether you can make it work financially or not, feel free to reach out and I'll help guide you. I hope you found some value in this video. If you know of somebody who could use some of this advice, please send this video their way. Finally, if you want to take a deeper dive into the numbers and get some of the logistics behind home buying, I am available and I'm happy to help. Feel free to click the link below and set up a meeting with me.